As 2017 comes to an end, it's time to take a look at how trends are expected to influence consumers, products, and brands in the year to come. That's why futurist Sheryl Connelly from the Ford Motor Company takes an inside look at the annual trend report this morning. Good morning, Cheryl, and I understand you are a Buffalonian.
I am. I lived in Buffalo. I love Buffalo. Anyone who knows it, you can't help but fall in love with that city.
Oh, Cheryl, well, we're so happy to have you here on AM Buffalo this morning. To start off, what are some of the biggest trends identified in this year's report?
So this year's report looks at 10 different trends that are going to shape the future for the years to come. And one area that was particularly interest to us at Ford Motor Company is big plans for big cities. Over half of the world's population lives in city centers, and that's unprecedented in history. And the number will continue to grow as the population grows. And so cities like New York, LA, Mumbai, Shanghai, they deal with an extraordinary amount of congestion. And not surprisingly, 9 different countries, 9,000 people told us that they need better transportation options in cities. So as a company, we're trying to explore how we can better serve mobility solutions up to the public at large. And it's not always about adding more vehicles to the road. You know, not everyone wants to drive or even own their own vehicle. So we're exploring things like car sharing, ride sharing, dynamic shuttles, bicycle rentals, even electric bikes.
Well, I know this is something that Buffalo is beginning to explore because our city is continuing to grow and grow by the year. How does the 2018 report compare to previous years?
You know, this is our 6th edition, and it is decidedly different than the previous 5, and I think it's just a reflection of the times. There's a much more sobering tone. One of our trends is called The Edge of Reason, and it explores about how all of this change, whether it's political upheaval, that's kind of changing our attitudes about the world around us. Half the people we spoke to said they feel more anxious this year than they did last, and 3/4 of the people we spoke to said they're overwhelmed by the changes around us.
How does this report view technology?
Technology is something that everyone's interested in, how it might unfold in the years to come. We have a trend called Technology's Tipping Point, and it explores things that were once considered science fiction: artificial intelligence, virtual reality, autonomous vehicles. And not everyone's certain about whether they welcome that future. But the reality is, it's already embedded in our day-to-day life. If we look specifically at artificial intelligence, half the people we spoke to said they think artificial intelligence can do more harm than good. And so not surprisingly, in the US, only about half the people are actually hopeful about what a self-driving vehicle will look like. But if you compare that to places like China and India, the enthusiasm goes up dramatically, with over 80% of the people we spoke to telling us they're very hopeful about what that world will look like. Either way, you better brace yourself, because we just announced that we're going to invest $900 million in one of our manufacturing facilities in Michigan that will actually start to produce those self-driving vehicles that we expect to see on the road by 2021.
Well, Cheryl, as you know, we have a Ford plant here in Buffalo. So how is the research applied in Ford's day-to-day operations?
So day to day, it doesn't matter whether you're in marketing, design, manufacturing. At some point, people are going to ask you, how are you preparing for the future? And it takes 3 years for us to actually deliver a new car to the marketplace. So we're constantly tasked to try to anticipate what consumers are going to want. And nobody has a crystal ball. But these trends can give us some leading indicators about the forces that will shape consumer values. And our hope is to challenge the status quo and provoke new thinking.
Cheryl, last but not least, where can we go for more information?
So I hope all of your Buffalo viewers will check out FordTrends.com, and they can download the entire report.
Cheryl, sounds wonderful. We miss you here in Buffalo. We can't wait for when you visit again. For more information, visit Ford.com.